I see you. You've been grinding for years, checking off all of the to-dos, following all of the rules for success. Work harder, push more, stay visible. Yet your income plateaus, opportunities feel scarce, and no matter what you do, the next level of wealth seems out of reach. Now, here's a twist. What if I told you the very things you've been taught about success, and I'm talking about the hustle, the overwork, the endless pushing, is actually keeping you from stepping into your next level of abundance? Welcome to the Unleash Your Ambition podcast. My name is Stacie Walker. I'm having a conversation with Lenka Lutonska. Lenka is a transformational leader and the creator of Business Energetics. Lenka reveals how true abundance isn't just a mindset, it's something that your body must embody. We're having a conversation about how to align your energetic identity, subconscious mind, and nervous system to create soul-led success without the burnout. We also talk about 2 somatic practices you can start using right now to open yourself up to receiving more abundance and more opportunity. So if you've ever felt like you've hit an upper limit, this conversation will show you the missing link. All right, grab your pen, your paper, and your favorite drink and get the most out of this episode. Lenka, welcome to the Unleash Your Ambition podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Can you share who you are, what you do, and how you help people?
Hello, everyone. Well, I'm Lenka Lutonska. Thank you for having me, Stacie. I'm a creator of Business Energetics and founder of Business Energetics Academy. And to summarize what I do in the world, what's my biggest passion and gift, I believe. I'm here to co-architect a brand new yet so needed approach to business, success, and wealth. I call it business energetics because the old way, which is based on distorted masculine, which says, let's work hard like dogs 15 hours a day to earn our place, and work harder, play even harder when you work hard. That paradigm is responsible for too many burnouts, too many divorces, too many men and women still jumping from the roofs of big corporations. It's crumbling. It needs to go. And a new paradigm, which is based on soul, which we let our soul lead and create success. We let our intuition decide what the strategy is. We let our hearts to lead. That is business energetics, and that is what I'm here to share with your audience.
I love this. And everything that you're sharing with me is exactly why I wanted you on the podcast, because I, I'm sure with our histories, we've worked the masculine side, overly masculine side. And I know for me personally, it came with a lot of consequences. I burned myself out, couldn't recognize my body. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't present with my family, just so many things. And I knew there had to be another way. And I know, you know, I've seen your content online. I mean, you've been around for a while, just like just like me. So I am really excited about talking about like the new paradigm about how to do things differently, because it's still so loud online about just the overly masculine way of doing things. And just for people that are watching and listening, like there needs to be a balance, because if there, and I don't even know if I can even call it a balance,
Mhm.
I want to say harmony, it's like a dance, you know, um, because balance, that's just a weird word. It's a weird word to me, but a lot of people identify with that. But I wanted to talk about somatic wealth. Like, what is that? Because that's what we're going to be talking about on the podcast today.
Somatic wealth and somatic wealth coding. Okay, when you
Yeah.
suggested that, let's talk about that. I said,
Yes.
brilliant, let's do it.
Yes.
Well, what it is, it's working with our body directly to open ourselves to receive, to tap into original wealth. Because when we think of abundance, when we think about creating wealth, it's switching from that old paradigm. Which, by the way, I so love that you said, Stacie. I feel like got to continue drumming it, that this is not about getting rid of the masculine. Masculine is very much needed. It's about braiding like the two strands of DNA, uh, the empowered feminine and empowered masculine together, because both feminine and masculine has got distorted sides. That is what creates human life and miracles and explosions in business and everything that we want. Where do somatics come to it? Our nervous systems come to it. Well, it's one part of three aspects of how we create. There are three aspects, I call it the trinity of creative self. So one is our sense of identity, energetic identity, who I consider myself to be. So, for instance, when I was myself in that identity of struggler and victim, which was earned because I built my first business, and it was robbed of me by a corporate psychopath. So I had every right to be in that energy and in identity of I've been a target to a psychopath. I'm a victim and I'm angry and I'm powerless because I don't have now, the base that I built. I don't have client database. I don't have resources. I'm broke and so forth. And I slipped into for a while into identity of struggler, not enough. I struggle. This is who I am. I don't know what to do. From that identity, it's impossible to build huge success. Or just like when we sometimes identify ourselves as, I don't know, beginners, maybe we pivot from one way of doing things into another way of doing things. But if we consider ourselves to be beginners, if I'm a beginner, I cannot be authority. It's so disconnected. So it's that sense of identity that creates, and that's one of three aspects that constantly creates. The other one is, of course, our human mind, subconscious mind. I call this part of us little human, lovingly. And that's the programmed part of ourselves. That's what we learned from our experiences. That's what our comfort zone is. That's our subconscious patterning is, our beliefs. And the third one is our nervous system, is our body. All those patterns live in our body. All the wealth that we want to experience lives in our body. But the body is the greatest density. Body comes last. So sometimes energetically we agree, I don't know, I'm a millionaire, or I'm a huge change maker. I'm this, I'm that. And so we can agree, but sometimes subconscious mind doesn't agree, because we have got this patterning from past that no, I'm not a change maker that changes many lives. I'm not an authority. I failed many times, or whatever it might be. And when we think that, okay, I am a change maker, but the body may freeze. Oh, what does it mean? The level of responsibility I need to deal with. Maybe we freeze. Maybe it feels overwhelming. Maybe even the wealth, earning 10 times more or receiving 10 times more, may feel overwhelming for the body. It's in the body that we hold that subconscious patterning as well as the wealth. So yes, somatic, the nervous system, is a very important part of this trinity that we work with when we work with somatic wealth.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I'm glad that you broke this down the way that you did, Linka, because this isn't common talk, in the coaching space, in the business space, in the corporate world, in the education system. It's not common talk. And, when you share this, it just it feels right in the soul,
Yes.
It just feels right in the soul. It's like, okay, I can see how my identity may not be aligned with my subconscious, may not be aligned with my nervous system, you know. And once you're aware of those things, you can see where the shifts need to be made in order to, manifest the results in the physical world.
Yes.
So body is the last thing. Well, I
Yes.
mean, I know they work all in harmony.
Absolutely. They work in harmony as each influence the other.
Yes,
As in
yes.
when we work with body, it's very important because, of course, if there is a space, I can even suggest at least one somatic practice for
Mhm,
wealth coding. But I will say it as it is. It's absolutely useless to do
mhm.
it if we do not, let's say, when we are at the threshold of discomfort, when we are about to make a choice, or
Yes.
strategic decision that is taking us out of comfort zone, and at the threshold we say, oh well, I'm not gonna do it, but you know what, I'm going back to I don't know, something else. So by itself, it will not do much. I'll say it as it is. But if we pay attention to our nervous system for the purpose of aligning our identity, subconscious mind, and the body with what we want to become, who we meant to be,
Mhm.
do it, then it's golden.
Yes, yes. So I have a question. So I know you had to deal with a psychopath or sociopath, you know, with 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 having to start again. But the beautiful thing about your story, Linka, is that you were able to, you know, experience better results, have a bigger mission, have a bigger vision, make a bigger impact from that. So when you were in the identity of, you're broke, you lost everything, like,
Yes.
were you aware of the somatic wealth, the trinity of the identity, the
No,
subconscious?
no. This trinity, this identity, it just came to me through this experience. I cannot explain it. It's through sense of knowing or
Yeah,
talk self. I don't know.
yeah, I get
That
it.
came much, 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 much later as one of the frameworks I teach my clients. However, at the time, I just knew I have to get better.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, intuitively, I did whatever I could because my financial resources were extremely limited at the time. But I knew I needed to get better. So intuitively, I was guided, I guess, to do things such as hands-on therapies. I had for a good while hands-on therapies and was working with the healers because even if we have got lots of unprocessed emotions, it literally stays in the body. So I was drawn to some form of somatic work, working with the body, but I didn't know why.
Mm.
And I believe now looking back, it supported my healing, it supported me getting me ready to do my best work, but I didn't know why. I wouldn't put it in triangle or conscious awareness why I wanted to do that.
And that makes sense, as we go on our journey, like I feel like we're led on
Yes.
certain paths. We learn certain lessons to get us to the next the next phase of our humanity. And I love it that, from your experience and you putting this together of how you were able to see how this would make a huge impact, on the people that you work with, on your own life. I mean, you're a perfect example, because anyone can easily look at you and say, yes, you're successful, but they don't realize, the connections that you
What
made along the way.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's through the body, it's through somatic that we've got to embody that which we desire. We've got to anchor it
Hmm.
in the body, the frequency of the soul. Let's say you said it that we're constantly led. We are, by our souls, higher self identity. Call it what you like, higher self. It can have many names. We all being led by something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, um, that desire and intention, that higher version of self, will have a frequency, will have a certain
Yeah.
energetic blueprint which comes with the set of beliefs and values and so forth. So it will have a certain frequency. So as it leads us, as it sends us these intuitive nudges to our brain, and our physical self will perceive it. It essentially is asking us to, hey, embody, anchor in your body this frequency. Because when you do, you will open your body to receive this.
Yes.
That is what the intuition is. And that is what following the inner guidance is. It's working still with our body, with the nervous system, to receive that frequency of higher self, and therefore being able to open itself to perceive completely that frequency, to live it, to manifest it, so to speak. So each and every quote unquote aligned action, or the action or choice that we received from what we perceive to be our higher self, or the desire, intention, and so forth, is the most profound um, way of doing somatic work, somatic
Mm,
coding.
I love this so much, Linka. So are there any, okay, so I want to get into like practices, implementation, integrating. And I know we can't get it all. We can't talk about all of this in this episode. So I want to give something to the people that are watching and listening.
Absolutely.
Like, where can they? I mean, obviously, they should connect with you because I mean, you're deeply immersed in this work. And we'll get to that, before we close out the episode. But like, what are some practical things that can at least get them on the right track? Because of course there's going to be some people that are going to be skeptical.
Absolutely.
There's going to be
Absolutely.
some
I get
people
it.
that operate more on the masculine side. I mean, I used to be one of those
Yes.
people,
Yes.
for sure, until I hit a ceiling that I couldn't get past, and I was like, what the heck is going on?
Yes.
But what's
Where do
some
we start?
practical things?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Right now, as you ask me questions, Stacie, let's see if we can fit two practices. One, which I teach quite commonly, which is the beginning of it all, is not specific somatic wealth coding practice, but it's the basis of it. And then one specific somatic practice that will be so easy, somatic wealth coding practice that will be easy for everyone to follow.
Mhm.
So the first one, the first practice is there to really open that intuitive intelligence so that it can guide us in the most profound way, and we can learn to trust it and therefore embody that intuition and that higher self so much more powerfully. So this practice itself, I can say wholeheartedly, it made me millions. It really built, helped me to build a brand that impacts millions, makes millions on repeat, and so forth. So it's very, very simple. It's a 4-step process that we can do anytime. Ideally in the morning, you can take as long or as short as you like, make it your own, but it goes like this. Step number 1, address what? Address all the possible negative energy in your body, in your field. So you want to consciously bring up any doubts, any fears, any feelings in your tummy, and maybe just put it down on paper. So this is a conscious clearing of the energetic space and the body. So don't be afraid of those negative emotions. There's simply energy. They're not you. So I literally ask in the morning, especially if I feel, let's say, weird sensation in my tummy, as I ask, okay, fears, doubts, any negativity come up. What specifically? What specifically am I afraid of, nervous about, stressed about, whatever it might be? Maybe do the pages or just write it down, get specificity. Then simply acknowledge that this is not you, this is not true, this is simply energy interacting with your field, and gently release it. Thank you. I see you, I acknowledge you, I thank you, and I release you. You can release it in a breath, with a breath, even breathing for 3 minutes, thinking of these specific negative energies, if you wrap it up in this way, and taking deep breaths, almost like sucking this specific energy up from your entire field, from the body, but also from your entire energetic field. And imagine it, you breathing it into purple fire for 3 minutes. Mwah, beautiful. You clear the space. You clear the space for new to come, so to speak, for ideas, for abundance, for everything in the day. So that's step 1. Number 2, align yourself with the greatest level of success, meaning you can close your eyes for a few minutes. 3 minutes is plenty. And think of the greatest level of success you can think of, the greatest desire, the greatest version of you. What does that look like? What would the perfect maybe day look like for you, or perfect success and happiness, everything that you want in your business, life, and so forth? Go there until you feel it in your body. In other words, you want in your body You want to feel the energy of that greatest level of success. This is very important because this is how you prime your intuition, your guidance, because our inner guidance, unfortunately, works also when we are in a very low state, and it will match the guidance will match the energetic state. So if we are, let's say, in a state of desperation or neediness or stuckness, we still get some form of inner guidance, but it will match the stuckness and neediness and so forth. So if we do apply that guidance, if we embody that guidance, we will be more stuck, more desperate, no needy. So it's very, very important to do this, that will clear the energetic space, and we will prime our energy with visualization, with feeling in our body of the greatest success. So the guidance that we'll get throughout the day will be of a very high potency and frequency, you see. So then after that, and it's enough to do it for 3 minutes, we just want to feel it.
Mhm.
And then we'll go to step 3, and that is essentially a listening. It's acknowledging what comes through. So this is something like I would ask, okay, if I already was all of this, what I was just thinking about, what I was just visualizing, if I was all of this, how would I show up in the world today? How would I show up in the business today? How would I want to express this today? Not how to make it happen. How to make it happen leads us to logical mind, to figuring it out. It's to all we know. No, 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 no. How would I love to show it? How would my higher mind wants me to express this in the world? What's my part in this, so to speak? And we get the ideas. This is the place we sometimes get those quote unquote $1 million making ideas, either immediately, or maybe we'll get nothing, but we'll get it later in a day in a random moment, or maybe we'll get plenty of stuff that we already know. Doesn't matter. We take it all as it's given. This is gold. And then you take at least one of these, the one piece of guidance that maybe even makes you uncomfortable. And that will be the most powerful somatic work you can do, because you apply it. You take that step. That even that one thing when you do in that day, that will be worth so, so much. So let's say if we were given guidance, you know what? You're a little tired. You're overgiving. Take day off today. And you will be like, what? But I can't afford to take time off. If I'm not busy, nothing will move. But you're going to take that off. You're going to play with kids or go to spa or talk to God. You're going to honor it, even if it makes your current self mind uncomfortable. And that is the where you actually embodying that powerful, potent inner guidance and becoming a closer match. And that starts everything. That's that through that process, through this 4-step process, you really, really are becoming your the most powerful, most abundant version of self. So that's one process. I'll just blur it out very quickly. Hopefully that's you, Stacie, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty straightforward, yes?
Yes, this is beautiful. The process, of course, seems easy. It's easy, but it's going to take commitment, discipline, dedication, patience, trust,
Yeah.
So it's a very simple process. Thank you so much for sharing that. Because the embodiment, feeling it in your body, becoming the version of yourself who has envisioned
Yes.
your best life, your best business, your best relationship, all of those things. Yes.
I'll give you one more,
Yeah.
okay? One
Yes.
more. Through this guidance, you will get plenty of powerful, powerful guidance.
Hmm.
And sometimes we come across again our subconscious mind, little human. But you tried this before, you failed. But da 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 da. So we come across the resistance because of the subconscious mind patterning. So the second little practice that I want to share is very, very simple, is to help with this subconscious patterning, is to smooth it, is to dissolve this patterning in the body, so to speak. So we're more empowered. It's not gonna make it like super easy. It should never be super easy to take the aligned guidance, because we actually are stretching beyond our comfort zone. So of course, discomfort is powerful. That's nothing wrong with it. However, paralysis because of the fear that I'll fail again, or I'll be disappointed again, or I won't be enough again, or what, or whatever it might be, fear of visibility. Paralysis is no good. So if there is some form of paralysis, that means there are some wounds in our subconscious mind, and we're holding it in our body. So this is one form of a little somatic wealth practice that we can help to unwind, unbind, unscrew, so to speak, these wounds. And that is through what is commonly called as Sufi spinning. Please have a look. You can YouTube it, how Sufi spinning goes. It's a very traditional dance, mystic dance, when the right hand is typically up, left hand down, and they dance or they spin to a certain beat. You can make this your version, but this is how it goes when you do this for the purpose of somatic wealth coding, and more specifically unwinding, undoing almost, the limiting subconscious patterns. So let's say you know already that your pattern, you have pattern of the fear of being seen. Okay. So you can or it's not good enough. Yes, this used to be mine and sometimes still is, that it's not good enough. So you can, for 3 minutes, spin counterclockwise with hands up and down, with intention to unwind this pattern from your body. So you simply you tell yourself, I'm letting this go. I'm letting this go. It's no longer mine. It's simply energy is no longer mine. 3 minutes is enough. Do it in a safe way. I'm not here to teach you Sufi spinning. You can have a look. It's all information is online. Do it in a safe way. What this does, it goes beyond logic. It really confuses logical mind, and that's powerful, because this is the only way how we can actually tap into our body. And subconscious mind is to not think, not to do it through thinking. It also connects left and right hemisphere, the creative part of our brain, left, divine masculine and feminine, and in very short period of time, it puts us in what you feel like a hypnosis, but it's actually a 0 point consciousness, which is a very creative consciousness for the purpose of, if you like, mind programming, but also energetic shifting and so forth. So 3 minutes counterclockwise to unbind some unhelpful limiting subconscious pattern. Then take a breather, just 1-2 minutes, and then you start spinning in other direction clockwise, where you almost install in your body or open up to the opposite of that which you just let go of. So let's say, I'm enough. Whatever I do is more than enough. I am ready. I am open. So focus on that for 3 minutes. Put the drums on if you like, put music if you like, make it your own in complete silence. But this is just one form of, again, when you use your body for the purpose of somatic wealth coding, and in this instance is for alchemy or dissolving of limiting patterns from subconscious and the body. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I've never done that before, so I'm going to be doing that today. I love it. So I know there's so much more that we can talk about, but unfortunately we are out of time, and I would love to have you come back in the future if you'd like, and we can talk about whatever you want. I would love to continue this conversation. You're such a beautiful soul. And I just see the impact that you're making in people's lives, the impact that you're making in your lives, and the ripple effect that just keeps on going on and on throughout the world. So I really appreciate you being here and sharing your knowledge, sharing your wisdom, sharing something that is just absolutely life-changing for the people who are receptive to your message. Yes. So where can people connect with you outside of the podcast, Lenka?
Thank you so much. Businessenergetics.com or lenkalutonska.com. It's the same website. And I have a book, Energetic Selling and Marketing. I wrote it in 2019. This is beautiful, gentle introduction, yet very powerful, I would say, into business energetics. I'm in the process of writing the second book. And I have a YouTube channel where I share plenty of wisdom for the purpose of raising awareness, activation, giving help as much as I can for free to visionaries, leaders, change makers in terms of business energetics. Yes.
Love that. So for you who is watching or listening, look in for the listeners, look in the description of the show notes. And for you who is watching on YouTube, look in the description, connect with Lenka. She has a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge that you can learn from for free, similar to what we do here. And I would love for you to close out with final words of wisdom, Lenka, for the person who, yes, they've tried the mindset work, the energetics work. They've done all of these things, but they keep on hitting an upper limit. They're definitely receptive to what you're sharing, but maybe there's still something that's kind of holding them back. What would you have to say to that person to have them trust to have that trust that they can figure this out? This can be figured out. What would you want to say to them? And it doesn't mean they have to do it on their own or anything like that, but what's coming into your mind?
In this instance, what I want to share is, what if you thinking that something is holding you back is the very thing that is holding you back? What if you just decide to let go of that idea that there is actually something invisible or beyond you that can ever hold you back?